Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV.
Amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense. The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Belis Quetta, and thanks for watching us today on the News Desk. Now, the news making the rounds. Umahi places Bubiago under police supervision and inaugurates 5,000 operatives. Libya presidential poll on Friday impossible. Biden denies failure in pandemic testing response. Petrol subsidy rises and hits 1.16 trillion naira in 11 months. And Liverpool fights back to beat Leicester as Spurs and Chelsea reach League Cup semis. Stay with us as the details of this news come after the short time out. Welcome back, and the news in full. Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi on Wednesday inaugurated over 5,000 operatives of the state's command of the Ebubeagu security outfit, urging them to operate under police supervision. At the inauguration, which took place in Abakaliki, the state capital, the governor also said the operatives will be considered when state police finally take off. Umahi said Southeast governors will not fold their hands and watch such things happen. And he added that the security outfit is not meant to fight any legal organization, but to assist the police to flush out criminals and to deal with them according to the law. And now moving forward, Christian Pilgrims Commission names Sanwo-Olu Best Southwest Governor. The Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, yesterday named Governor of Lagos State Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the best governor in the Southwest over his contributions and release of resources for the growth and sustenance of the Christian pilgrimage in the country. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, said Lagos had kept the culture and has contributed very well in the sustenance of pilgrimage. Pam, while addressing newsmen, said that after 10 years, the NCPC has been able to go for pilgrimage without any of the pilgrims absconding. And he said, despite the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, they were able to visit Jordan, adding that there are over 70 holy sites in Jordan. And moving forward, in another development, Buhari launches National Development Plan for 2021 to 2025. And President Muhammadu Buhari has launched Nigeria's National Development Plan for 2021 to 2025. The plan, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council earlier in November, was launched yesterday at the State House in Abuja. And prior to the public presentation of the official document, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed that the new document replaces the Economic Recovery and Growth Program for 2017 to 2020. And the plan, according to her, is designed to, amongst other things, facilitate the nation's robust development in the area of science and technology, and as well as achieve its agenda on the continental and global levels. And meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council yesterday approved 5.7 billion naira for contracts in the agricultural and water resource ministries. And briefing State's House correspondent at the end of the virtual council meeting presided over by President Buhari at the council chambers of the presidential villa in Abuja. Minister of Water Resource Engineer Suleiman Adamu said his ministry obtained the approval for execution of 2 water projects in Gashua in Yobe State. And also briefing the Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development, Mustafa Shehuri, said the council approved the memoranda for his ministry. And now coming from around Africa, Libya presidential poll on Friday, impossible. Libya's election commission has set for the country's first presidential poll due to take place on Friday to be postponed for a month. It proposed the new date of 24th January after liaising with Parliament, the commission said. And the parliamentary committee had earlier said that it will be impossible to hold elections on Friday. And the run-up to the poll has been marked by disputes over the eligibility of candidates and growing security fears. And Libya has been in tumult since the long-serving ruler Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown and killed in 2011. The UN and Western powers had hoped that the election would bolster efforts to achieve peace and democracy in Libya, a strategically important country that is a major oil producer and a transit point for migrants to Europe. And U.S. Ambassador to Libya, Richard Noland, said the U.S. shared the disappointment of the Libyans who wanted to vote. And he said Libyan leader should expeditiously address all legal and political obstacles to hold elections, including finalizing the list of the presidential candidates. The Electoral Commission had rejected the candidacy of Colonel Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam, but his lawyer said a court had overturned his decision, and there was no clarity either on whether military strongman General Khalifa Haftar could run for the presidency. And military prosecutors said the Electoral Commission should stop processing his application until he was questioned over accusations of human rights abuses. And last month, a court in Misrata in western Libya sentenced him to death in absentia for bombing a military college in 2019. And now moving forward to another story on Africa, Kenya tea pickers bid to sue Finlays in Scotland. A judge in deciding whether more than 700 people from Kenya should be allowed to sue a tea company for damages in Scotland's Supreme Civil Court. And most of the claimants are former tea pickers who say they were injured while working for James Finlay. And it's a part of a multinational group which can trace its roots back to Scotland in the 18th century. And Finlay say the action does not meet the requirements of Scotland's rule on group litigation proceedings. It is also arguing that any claims should be dealt with by the court in Kenya, not Scotland's Court of Session. And the former tea pickers claim they suffered serious damage to their backs and the necks through working conditions on the company's tea farms. And at a plenary hearing at the Court of Sessions, the Judge Lord Weir was asked to grant an order for the group action to proceed. Andrew Smith, QC, said the pickers claim they were routinely asked to work up to 12 hours a day without a break for 6 days and weeks, earning in 2017 an average monthly wage of £100. And he also carried baskets on the backs and had to harvest a minimum of 30 kilograms of tea to be paid anything at all. And Mr. Smith said James Finlay Limited had a turnover of £52 million last year, and he was described the working conditions as a recipe for disaster. We're going to short break right now, and when we come back, we get more updates from the foreign scene where Biden denies failure in pandemic testing response. Stay with us.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet. What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Now on the news from the foreign scene. Biden denies failure in pandemic testing response. United States President Joe Biden has denied his administration bungles in response to the emergency of the Omicron variant. And he told the TV network that nobody could have predicted it. And his top advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has said experts did foresee the variants. And it comes a day after the White House unveils plans to order 500 million at-home coronavirus tests amid a shortage. And there have been long waits for in-person tests as Christmas looms. The Democratic president said he wished he had thought about ordering the 500 million test kits 2 months ago. And meanwhile, 1 year ago, Mr. Biden lambasted a shortfall in COVID-19 testing under the Trump administration as a travesty. And on Wednesday, New York City recorded nearly 29,000 new cases, a new single-day record during the pandemic, and a 30% jump from the record set earlier this week. And pressed by the ADC on U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris' remarks to the Los Angeles Times last week that the White House did not see Delta or Omicron coming, Mr. Biden laughed. And in a briefing on Wednesday, Biden spokeswoman Jen Psaki was unable to provide specifics about how and when the free test kits would be distributed. And in more news unfolding, Philadelphia Congresswoman carjacked at gunpoint in broad daylight. A U.S. congresswoman has had her car and possessions snatched from her at gunpoint in a daylight carjacking in the city of Philadelphia. Mary Gay Scallon's government phone and ID were amongst belongings that the two robbers took, and the Democrat was not injured, her office said. The FBI is assisting in the hunt for the attackers, and like many U.S. Cities, Philadelphia has seen an uptick in violent crimes over the past year. And in a statement, the city's mayor, Jim Kenney, Democrats called the robbery, which occurred at 2:45 local time, and on Wednesday he called it appalling. And the two male attackers struck after Mrs. Scallon's toured the FDR Park in South Philadelphia, part of a congregational district, and was walking alone back to her 2017 Acura MDX. And she had been there for a week meeting, her office also said. And the dark-colored SUV approached, and two armed male inside demanded her keys and belongings. Her robbery in Philadelphia comes just 24 hours after another U.S. lawmaker was carjacked at gunpoint in a suburb of Chicago. Illinois State's Senator Kimberly Lightford, a Democrat, also her husband had their Mercedes SUV taken at gunpoint on Tuesday night, police said. And that's terrible there from the United States of America. And on business news right now, petrol subsidy rises and hits 1.16 trillion naira in 11 months. The amount spent on subsidizing petroleum premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, rose to 1.16 trillion naira between January and November this year. The latest data from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited show. The data also revealed the NNPC's remittances to the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee in the 11 months period dropped by 1.17 trillion naira. In the report of funding performance between January and November 2021, the oil firm said it had maintained petrol subsidy since the beginning of the year. In a report, the NNPC referred to its subsidy spending as under recovery, as it had repeatedly stated that it had no authorization by the National Assembly to pay subsidy. The debate around petrol subsidy had been intense in recent months, with state governors calling for its stoppage, while labor unions kicked against plans to stop it. And the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, for instance, recently decried the high cost of fuel subsidy, which, according to him, was not reasonable. And he said the Nigerian Governors Forum had met and agreed to back the federal government's transport palliative scheme, as well as halt the petrol subsidy regime. And however, operators in the downstream oil sector and as economic experts had said that while it was okay to remove petrol subsidy, the government must be cautious about its withdrawal. The National Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chief Wadike Chinedu, had said subsidy withdrawal was nice but might increase hardship when implemented. And still on business news, Ogun local governments get 3.39 billion naira from the FAAC allocation for December. The 20 local government areas in Ogun State have received a total of 3.39 billion naira from the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee for December. And the allocation included shares of statutory allocation, value added tax, and exchange gain. The State Commissioner for Local Governments and Chieftaincy Affairs, Afolabi Afape, disclosed this on Wednesday at the December Joint Allocation Accounts Committee meeting held in the Obas Complex in Abeokuta. And Afuape said the indigeneity of the local government's chairman and the support from the state government will go a long way providing necessary infrastructures for people at the grassroots. And speaking on behalf of other chairmen, the executive chairman, Ikene local government, Olusegun Ogunleye, said the state's government should accelerate actions on the harmonization process for them to have improved internally generated revenue. And earlier in the presentation, the Accountant General of the Permanent Secretary, Michael Idowu, said the sum of 4 billion naira represented the first line charge for the month, including primary school teachers' salaries, local government staff salaries and pensions, and other charges. We'll go on another short break. When we come back, we get more news updates from the world of sports.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Now on sports news, Liverpool fights back to beat Leicester as Spurs and Chelsea reach League Cup semis. Liverpool came from 2 goals down to beat Leicester on penalties after a pulsating League Cup quarterfinals ending 3-3 at Anfield, as Tottenham and Chelsea also made the semi-finals on Wednesday. And Spurs were 2-1 winners over West Ham and will face Chelsea in the last 4 after they needed 2 late goals to see off Brentford 2-0. And Liverpool will take on Arsenal in the semi-finals over 2 legs in January. And all 3 matches went ahead in front of full crowds despite the worrying rise of coronavirus cases numbers has been seen last week's Premier League's schedules decimated by call-offs. And Leicester's previous 2 fixtures had been called off due to a combination of a coronavirus outbreak in the squad and a mounting injury list. And however, Brendan Rodgers was able to name a close to full strength side on his return to Anfield, and it shows early on against a much charged Liverpool. And Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel handed debuts to academy prospects Harvey Vale, Jude Soonsup-Bell, and Xavier Simons, with the Blues short of 7 players due to a COVID outbreak. And however, Tuchel emptied his bench in the second half with the introduction of N'Golo Kante, Mason Mount, and Christian Pulisic, Reece James, and Jorginho. And that extra quality made the difference as Pontus Jansson turned James Cross into his own nets 10 minutes from time. Jorginho then stroked home a penalty after Pulisic had been upended in the box. And on another sports news, Atletico Bilbao versus Real Madrid. Benzema scores as Madrid wins 2-1. Karim Benzema scored the goals in Real Madrid's 2-1 win at Athletic Bilbao on Wednesday to send Carlos Ancelotti's side into winter break 8 points clear atop La Liga. As Real ended the year with a bang, city rivals and defending champions Atletico Madrid suffered their fourth straight defeat, a 2-1 reverse at Granada to leave them fifth but a yawning 17 points adrift. Benzema ultimately put the fixture out of reach on the Real's Basque host in a matter of minutes. Ohyang Sunset pulling one back with a speedy 10 minutes reply, which hit the woodwork before evading Thibaut Courtois. And Benzema's 14th and 15th goal of the season consolidated his position at the top of the league's goal-scoring chart. And earlier, Atletico's shaky defense of the La Liga crown took another big hit while injured duo Antoine Griezmann and Stefan Savic absent. And Atletico would be more than happy to swap trajectories with Granada, from whom this was a third consecutive win in front of their home fans and their fifth game without a loss. And Venezuelan forward Darwin Machis leveled in the 17th minute. And Felix had a header arguably harshly disallowed as the first half drew to a close, with Jorge Molina grabbing the winner after the hour mark for Granada. And that's the side of the news for us today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us right now, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Umahi places Ebubiagu under police supervision and inaugurates 5,000 operatives. Libya presidential poll on Friday, impossible. Biden denies failure in pandemic testing response. Petrol subsidy rises and hits 1.16 trillion naira in 11 months. And on sports, Liverpool fights back to beat Leicester as Spurs and Chelsea reach League Cup semis. And today on our photo of the day, you see this photo, very dramatic photo of someone that is looking at a particular direction and going the other way because he's holding a map that is probably showing him something different. So what we say here is just that when things go wrong, don't go with them. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Make sure when things go wrong, you are going right. So you can also tell us your thoughts on the photo of the day of today on our different social media platforms. On Facebook, Celebration TV; on Instagram, My Celebration TV; on Twitter, it's at My Celebration TV; and on YouTube, the channel name is Celebration TV. And don't you forget that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in, or the organization you work in, defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either have a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So do everything within your reach and possible to be a part of nation building today. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. My name is Belly Squetta, and compliments on the season.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing aim of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun.
reflects